Hi there everybody, goodness me, we're getting to the end of all these tangly bits now, and it's not going to be long before we've got the front of a quilt already stitched together and good to go. So this will be our second one, and just in time, well maybe not quite just in time, but just to sort of start thinking about the Christmas one that's coming. But here we go. I've done a little bit of a count up and I've got 6 blocks left. As you know, I've stitched all my blocks together just to be certain that I've got enough. And do you know what? I actually find it easier now, and I've not got loads of little bits and pieces lying around. I've still got like some of my corners to put in, but that's only on my second lot of blocks. And of course, as you know, I'm doing a double-sized quilt compared to everybody else is doing 20. Gosh, why do I do it? I'm doing 40. But it's going to look fabulous, I'm sure it is. I can't wait to see it. So where are we at then? Okay, so yeah, we've done quite a few flowers. We've hopefully by now, gone through all of this now. And I did do it in a video the other week, and we've put together our blocks. We've done our corners, although I do have to do my corners, as I say, on my other. And so we've got up to this point here, number 23. Number 24 is where we start stitching them together. Now you can start to do that, but I've left that until I've drawn the rest of the blocks. So this is the steps left for that bit. And of course, putting our binding on. I'm showing you here how to stitch the binding, but we don't need to worry about that just yet. Our main thing, oh, so I can't wait, this quilt. I'm actually taking it in tomorrow to show Sewing Street. I'm really excited about it because it's beautiful, it really is. So, okay, oh, cutting the borders out, Ruth, you're doing it. So here we go, flowers. We've done all of these and we're down to these 2 here. And then on the back, there's 5. Now that gives me 21 designs and I only need 20. So you can choose, you've got an extra one. I'm probably, I don't know, I'm gonna miss out one of those. I haven't fully decided yet, so that's gonna be sort of next week's job to do. But for now, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna just sort of finish these 2 off, and maybe if I can sort of whiz through it, I'm gonna do this one as well. So let's see how we go, shall we? So, okay, first one, here we are, this one. So let's have a quick look at it. So it starts with a line and a little cup on. And it's got a bit of a wavy line around the stem. And then here, you can probably see it a bit better here, look. As it's like little chain stitches, one inside the other. And then a little line. So yeah, it definitely looks like chain stitches. And then we've got a bit of a leaf going on. Very similar in design. So I'm going to play around with that a little bit. So it's nice to change it up. So here we go. And remember, I've got different corners. So I remember, if I remember rightly, my corners need to be blue on the left because, of course, if it's the right way around, but it doesn't matter if you don't need to worry about it. So, okay, I think first of all then, I'm going to start. A couple of things I've got here. I've got my Frixion pen, which means if I want to draw something I'm not sure of, or I need a construction line, I'm going to use that because that's going to iron away. Now, again, always check your fabrics first, but it's worked fine for what I've been using. And the majority of my fabrics are quilting sort of weight fabrics, so that's fine. And I've got my regular pen here, my 03, which is permanent. So I'm going to go straight in. Or do I want to go straight in? Yeah, I'm going to go straight in. With a bubble, I'm going to start in the middle here. Let's sort of zoom in a little bit and get going. Hello, Lisa and Marie. And Karen and Barbara. Thank you for joining me. I know yesterday, we usually do it on a Sunday, but yesterday we didn't actually get back in from the NEC, not the NEC, why am I thinking NEC? From Doncaster till about 6:30, 7:15. So it was quite a day. Goodness me, it was quite a day. I am going to come in with my Frixion pen. We had a busy weekend. For those of you that don't know, we were at Doncaster Racecourse. The crafting event that went on there over the weekend. So saw a few of you there. Yeah, I've drawn that. See, it doesn't matter if it's not quite in the middle. And I'm going to separate it off because I want to put some petals in there. Okay. Now, I know we've all done that before, but if not, you see I've done a cross and then I've split that into 2 as well, giving me 8 sort of similar sections. All right, and what I'm going to do in each one, let's go a little bit bigger. I'm going to come in and I'm going to create that sort of, from there, create that line. From there. Well, then you notice I don't have any interfacing on the back of mine, so I am sort of, it is very fluid, but that's okay. Let's put a little line there, like a stitch, look. I'm holding it down as I go, and I'm letting the pen do the work. I'm not trying to push it in any way. Just take your time with it. If you, we did put interfacing in the first one, didn't we, if you remember? And you can do that, but for this one, I didn't want to have that. Okay, you see I'm doing this little stitch as I go around as well, so I'm imagining that it is actually a chain stitch there. So it's going out of the construction bubble a little bit, but that's fine too. Around we go. All right. I don't think you've got to keep up with me with this one. I'm going to say go through and try and get through 3 tonight, and then that's going to give you plenty to do, and then next week we can do the last 3, and then from there it's plain sailing. So here we go. Now on the inside there, let's just have a little look at it. It shows that it's sort of got a bit of oh sorry, there we go, a bit of a point, isn't it? Let's have a look. But mine is slightly rounder at the bottom because there's a little extra bit there because I used the space. So what I'm going to do is a similar sort of thing. You see, so it's not going to be quite the point. And I'll put a stitch, but a little bit. And then around. You see, so I've got something similar going on the inside as I go. And working my way around. Relatively quick to do this one. I think this will, because it's a bit bigger, it takes a little bit more colouring, and I do have to come in and add some coloured pencil to some of my designs. I've not done that for a while, and I think I mentioned last week that I was probably going to do them all at once and sort of have an afternoon on batch colouring to sort those out. Okay, there we are. Let's have a look at that. So of course that blue line's going to go, it's just going to be the flower in the middle there. So we want some leaves, so here we go. I'm going to come out. Now the leaves are sort of slightly more wavy in design, you see. Let's put one in here as well. Slightly more wavy. And a couple down here. Of course I haven't got John with me tonight to iron the blue out for me because he's nipped out. Okay. Let's put another one in there. Okay, see how that goes. I'll see how I feel after that. Okay, so coming in a little bit more. But then sort of suggested we've got these lines. Now I am going to go, see, from the point at the bottom and come outwards. Now I've got to imagine where the point is for this and come outwards. And work our way around. I can do this one because I can see. So I'm starting at that point there at the bottom, coming round and round. And this one. So at the moment I've put no lines in it, I've not got that detail in there. I'm going to do that all in a little while. Okay, so we've got those. Let's have a little look at that. Okay, so I've got 3 one side and those. That's okay because I can put a few flourishes and things in. So let's have a look at where it suggests lines. It suggests them around the edge and on the cup section. Well, I'm going to go in to the centre there and I'm going to put lines in the centre. So that represents sort of the same as what we've already got on the paperwork. But, you know, we're keeping in with certain things. So looking at my leaves, I'm going to start the lines with the point at the top and put a line in. So let's go a bit bigger now, you can see what I'm doing. Because of course, if I just try and keep those lines like this, it's not going to quite look right. So a nice way of doing it is, again, split up that space. And then again, you see? So it's sort of following an angle as you work your way around. And then you can create that little piece there. See how it sort of forms itself into that kind of shape. And of course you can keep splitting it and add more of those lines in if you feel you need to. So here you could put another one in the middle, but I'm kind of good to go with what I've got there. And round into this next bit. Okay. And sort of going along as we go. There you go. Okay, so it looks a little bit like little satin stitches maybe, or you could have a thicker line around, so a bit blanket stitch like. I know some of you are stitching some of these, so I hope I'm giving you a little bit of an idea. Well, I'm sure you know what you're doing anyway, so just thoughts. You see, I'm confident in where I'm going with this now, so I don't really feel I need to split my space up as much. I can come on in and get straight on with those lines, like that. And then in this one. And just sort of working my way around. You see how that kind of gives it a little bit of a dimension to start with, and of course you can see I'm starting in the middle and going outwards. So the middle bit's going to be a little bit darker anyway. Looks good. So down onto this one. Again, working my lines around. See how it sort of follows the curvature of that leaf shape. Just makes for a more interesting shape, doesn't it? Putting some design in it. We've got a lot of leaves in this piece, so it's nice to pick and choose. Of course, you could have done something different. You could have mixed a different one in there. There we go. And this one. Again, joining the top first, it gives you the starting point. And then in we go. Oh. See, it started on the outside then. I want it from the in. And then into this one. And so we're kind of working my way around. There you go. So I'm going to hopefully speak to them tomorrow. They did say that they were going to, but on this occasion I couldn't get my fabric from Sewing Street because they've not got their Christmas selections on there yet. But they are going to put something together. I have gone, and you did see it. Was it the last video I did? I have gone Scandi-Thiel. So, and I did look up on the internet, Christmas Fabric 2023. So there are a couple of companies that have already got it out there. And that's what I did, because if I'd have waited until Christmas on Sewing Street, I wouldn't have had any Christmas fabric. I will check and have a look at the company that I used. I think it was the Sewing Studio, and they've got, and if you look at Scandi Christmas, they've got, I have used grey and red. They've done that, and I've also, I'll show you in a short while, I've picked out some more fabrics from there, and I'm going to do a different colour, so you can sort of see. I'm not going to get it all finished, but I have to demonstrate something, so it depends what you want to do with it. If you don't want to do it as Christmas, you don't have to. It's not, you know, got Santa Claus on it and things like that, but, you know, you can have a play with it. So, okay, I'll show you that in a bit. Let's do these first. So, there we go. That's sort of one flower there, done and sorted. And I did say little flourishes along the way. So, I'm going to bring in, we usually do our little curves and bubbles, don't we, or bubbles. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bring in some curves and put some little leaves on the end. Let's do that all the way down one side and then the other, and along we go. Okay, and then let's come back in one side. So I'm going to add a few of these around the place. I think it's just nice to give it something else. Certainly because we've got these quite large leaves on. Let's have another one coming from out there, see. You've got to look at yours, and even if you draw it with your Frixion pen first, just to get the feel, and if you're happy with where that is, then go for it. There you go. You see, makes a difference, doesn't it? Let's bring one out there, look. Again, little leafy shapes. Okay. And then this one here. And putting those in. They're quite quick to do, aren't they, those? They don't take long at all. And they really sort of fill up the space if you want them to. Let's have a little look at that. Hello, Julie. Maybe I need to put a zinger in there and mean that Julie's in the house. I think I've got to, just because. There we go. You see how different that looks? It's sort of giving it... I know that the blue's a little bit sort of off-putting in a sense, but we know it's going to get ironed out. So here we go. Let's have a look. A little flourish just for Julie. Here you go, Julie. A little dot. Let's go a bit bigger. There you go. And little auras. Getting smaller. There you go. It's the first one on the quilt, I think. Let's put one up here, look. Just so I can balance it a little bit. There you go. All right. Oh, I've got to do another now. See, they get addictive. That's why. There we are. Okay. So there's one. Let's have a look at a different design then. I'm going to bring in the other colourway that I've got on this quilt here. And let's have a look. We've got one that's sort of gone in the middle. So let's do the cup kind of design. So are we ready? I'm going to come in with about yeah, I want to got quite a big bloom again. So there it is. I'm leaving a space, look, for the stem. So let's put that down and down. Doesn't matter if it's not straight, although that's pretty good. Slightly wonky maybe, but put straight in its own way. There you go. Okay. And starting off with then, I'm going to put just a little bit of a curve in there, I think, just to sort of help it out a bit. And then first things first is let's come in with that first shape. Now don't forget, if you're drawing this and you've not stitched your block in place yet, don't forget you've got a seam allowance to deal with. So you don't want to be drawing this and going too close to the edge, because when you stitch it together, you're going to end up with it in the seam. Okay, so I've got my little leaves or petal shapes either side. And next one. And next one. There we go. Okay, now I know they're not as pointed as the others, so I don't mind that. I'm using the essence of it and giving myself a little bit of a different shape. But do you know what? It's my quilt, my drawings, do what I like, and that's the way we roll. Okay, a little bit of a base on there. So same sort of vibe with these. I'm going to put that little mark in at the top there. Okay. And then back in with the smaller one. And see, these are going to go underneath each other now, because that's sort of, first one's overlapping, and again it gives that sense of 3-dimension before you even put any shading on. And that's what we're after. So even if you were to leave it like this and don't put any colour on at all, it's going to give you something, isn't it? There you go. See, pretty quick really, aren't they? So the lines I'm going to put on my little cup shape here. Now I'm not going to do it all the way down the stem. See how that's started? Let's go a bit bigger. So as I go down, I'm going to sort of lessen them up so they sort of wander or peter off down the bottom there. And then bring in those curvy leaves in. There's 1, 2. And the same this side. When I say the same, I don't mean exactly the same shape. I mean we're putting a leaf in. So we're following the same principles as before, but not trying to make them the same in any way. There you go. So lines, and again, if you want to split it up like I showed a little while ago, you can do that. Again, so I'm going to start from the inside and work your way out. Do what I say. There you go. See, all the way down. Turning it round. Same again. It's just this white fabric's not as heavy as the other one, so it's a lot more fluid when you're drawing on it. So you've got to, you see, I'm just giving it a little bit of tension when I'm drawing on it, just to make sure that I can get those lines in. You know that you've not got the interface in underneath, so maybe next time I should use the baking paper technique and put something on it to give it structure. But there you go, I've got this. Okay, now there's one thing we didn't actually put inside the leaves, isn't it? If we go back and have a look, you see we've got this extra little bit. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put this line in and put that on. A little bobble, look. And then I'm going to do the same, see one there? Both sides. And turn it round. Same on this one. So I'm going to go back to the other one. And I'm going to put those little lines on there too. Okay. So here we go, back to this one. And let's put that line up. And little bubbles either side like little bows almost, aren't they? Pretty quick to do them, but they make a bit of a difference, so I'm glad I've gone back to do that. Same with this one, look. They're only small, so they don't take long. And then this one. And of course, if you wanted to actually transfer this and do it on paper, that's pretty straightforward. You could do that as well. You don't have to do it on fabric. It would, Julie, yeah, a little bit of black work or something. But even if, once you ironed that away, it's going to look different again. And there we go, there's our other one. So coming to this one here, I'm going to say tick off. That's done, sorted. Move on to the next one, if we're ready. So, okay, here we go, next one. What are we going to do with this? It starts live as, there we go, a little bubble, and then it's got like little hats on, and then it forms a stem, and then it gets lots of petals all the way around it. So a couple of things to be doing there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a bit of a shape. Let's have a look. So Frixion pen at the ready. I could use a circle for this, but I think what I'm going to do is do it a little bit freehand, because we've done a few circles now. So let's do a little bit of a more random kind of shape. If you want to do a circle, that's fine. I think sometimes it's nice to switch it up a bit, isn't it? There we are. And let's go in a little bit. And let's put a bubble in. Again, don't go too small with these, you won't see them. It takes ages to do loads. And let's put a little hat round it. You see, it looks like a little hat. And then another one. You see, they're getting a little bit bigger each time. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do a few of those, sort of dotted around the place. So they are bigger, aren't they? But that's what I want. I've got a bit of a plan. I'll draw this one and I'll show you what I'm looking at. So I'm not going to do for this one, I'm not going to do all of the petals. I'm going to keep it as sort of a small bud kind of thing and join it sort of to that line. You see it's going to come round. So we've got a few joining together. So let's put another one in here. I mean, you could follow the instructions exactly and you could draw what's there. I'm just trying to give you a couple of options so you can try something different, or you can, you know, see what it's like with your own. It's just a bit of confidence, isn't it, I think, to actually put your own design in there. So hopefully I'm helping with that a little bit, showing you that it doesn't have to be the exact same way as it's drawn. It's just about having a little bit of a think about what you could do. Okay. So again, look, sort of a tiny little cup shape, and I'm going to join it to that line somehow. See, they're quite close, so that's okay. You see? So let's put another one round here. Again, you know, just sort of giving it a little bit of tension there. Let's put one further back. And again, I think sometimes we worry about drawing. So just go in with a confident pen stroke and let it do the work for you, so to speak. You know, who's to say it's right or wrong? It doesn't matter. Again, this time, see, I'm inside there, so let's bring the stem in to join it there. So they can be quite close, or you can see that they are. See that one, look, it's sort of sitting on it, so I'm not going to put a stem on there. And let's put a few more. So I always tend to put a few around, rather than trying to do a whole load in one place, and then see if I think there's enough there. If there is, good. If not, I can always go back and add. But if I've added loads in one area and I think, oh, it's too many, then I've got to sort of do the same in the others. And this way it sort of balances it up, and I can stop and start a little bit, see where I'm going with it. Okay. Let's put one in there. See, that's going to go up to that line. So I'm sort of trying to join it to this sort of wobbly shape a little bit there. And then we go with that one. So that one's sort of on it anyway. Okay, let's have a little look at that. All right, almost little fairy-like kind of things as well, aren't they? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw as best as I can the shape that I drew. If it's a little bit off, doesn't matter, because as we know, it's going to iron away. But I'm not going to draw through any that I've put in there. You see, it's following it round. Okay. And then let's thicken that line up so it looks a little bit more realistic, in a sense that there's something attaching there. I've not gone too wide. See? Just kept it like a double line, but pretty close. Okay. And of course, I'll be bound to find a little bit I've missed when I iron it off. But that's okay, we can add to it if we need to. Okay, like that. So I'm going to do another random line. And I'm going to sort of take it up and over. You see, so it's going underneath each of these. So it gives it a little bit more interest. And under there, see? And so this is going to come out, look, and it's going to join there. Okay. And let's thicken that up again. And again, it's fine, it's going underneath all the time. That's absolutely fine. It's just sort of a little bit of interest in the background there. Follow it through. Well, can I say I'm not murdering my dog? He's, yeah, Daddy's come home. So he does that. Seth doesn't care. But Benji does. Seth's asleep somewhere. Oh, missed that little. You see, so now it's got a little bit more of an interest on it, hasn't it? So I'm not going to put as many, but I'm going to add a couple more onto this shape there. And I can pick and choose. I don't have to do them in bunches. Oh dear. Okay. Let's put one here, like going facing this way. There we go. Okay. See, it starts to form on something a little bit more interesting, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Seth woke up. Sounds like I've got a horde of dogs, doesn't it? And they all pitter-patter around the floor. I haven't. I've only got 2. They're all waiting now. See which door he's going to come into. There you go. Okay. So let's have a little look at that. Actually, I think it looks quite good. So I'm not going to put any more of those on. But again, bringing those little flourishes in. Let's stick with those leaves. And let's bring a couple of little leaves in. But this time, instead of drawing them and then joining them, I'm going to draw them directly on the stem, like that. It just gives it something, a little bit of interest there, see? Changes it up a bit. And again, as before, don't sort of put loads in one place. Put a few dotted round, and then if you feel that you need to add a few more, then that's what you do. But if you think there's enough, you don't need to worry. So, there we go. Let's put one in there. See, just sort of, look how it builds. Oh, hello, Patty. You all right? I've seen Shelley on as well somewhere. I'm sorry, I don't always get to sort of answer the messages because I'm so busy drawing. I don't always see them. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm working away here. Okay, so maybe just 1 or 2 round here. Let's have a look. And then that's probably it. And again, because there's a full-sized or full-blown flower on the instructions, I've just used the bud kind of thing with it, just to give me a little bit of a change. They don't all have to be in bloom, do they? Oh, hello, Linda. It will stay on the fabric, this. I mean, I always check what you're working on. I'm working on quilting weight cotton, and this pen is permanent and it won't wash out. We know that. You put it in your pocket in your shirt. But, you know, it's always worth a check. But when I've tested it on these fabrics, it's actually stayed there. So that's it. Okay, so the only thing that's going to remove from this is that blue part, the Frixion pen. Everything else is going to stay. So let's have a go at this again, but this time let's try something a little bit different. So bringing in my other panel. And okay, let's go in for a full bloom, shall we? So I'm going to start with, we go to one side. I'm going to start with that bubble. Now again, you can see the difference here. There's not much holding together. It's really soft there. Linda, yes, the pens are on my Sanntangle website. There's two different types. You'll need the 03 and 05 pack. The 02 is a little bit too fine, I find. The 03 is just lovely to work with on fabric. 05 if you're filling things in. But there we go. All right, so it looks like a little stickle kind of thing, doesn't it? So let's put the stem in. Stem, here we go, a little bit of a curvy shape. And then down we go. So again, feel free if you want to do that in Frixion pen. You don't have to do it straight on. And then we're going to put the petals in this time. So I'm going to start, let's go a bit bigger so you can see. There you go. I'm going to start back here. Oh, we fly hunting again. We've opened a door and there's a fly coming. So Benji's disappeared. Okay, let's do the same on this side. All right, and then again, see, it's sort of got a little bit of a kick to it, look, a little bit of a wave in there, and again. Do you know, I can't tell you how much raid we must get through. So if you don't know, Benji is a little bit averse to flies. He hates them. Let's do another. See, now this the thing here, if we look back at the image, there we go, look. Oh, no, that one. It goes quite a way around, and there's those little leaves, but we can continue it. You can go all the way if you want to, but I'm going to stop at that point. I'm not going to overdo it. And I'm going to sort of come in now with another. I know we've done sort of the same sort of thing, these kind of flowers before, and done them in straight lines. So I think this time I'm going to slightly curve it. And I'm going to have this one sort of facing over here a little bit. And again, like putting those extra little pieces in. I'm putting in that part. Now this bit we can draw in the line. Now this, confident strokes. Certainly when you're on fabric, you don't really want to be trying to sketch it too much, because it's going to sort of stick and catch in the fabric, and we don't want that. We want it to sort of glide over the surface. Okay. All right, so keep it going. Now again, you could do one side then the other, but I think for me it's nice to do both as I go. Whether that's a habit for me or whether it's just that's what I do, I don't know. You see? Look at that then. Oh, let's just go out a little bit, okay? So let's do another one, maybe slightly this way. So we've got a little bit of a wonky kind of flower family. Okay, so I'm going to turn it now this way so I know that my line's vertical. Oh, Linda, I think I'm not necessarily, or I'm not as accurate as you might think. I think sometimes it's more of, so I'm going to put the stem in. I've been doing it a little while, so I'm confident with my pen strokes. And that's what it is. I think we'll get there. We all draw differently, don't we? So, and sometimes I'll look at somebody's and think, oh, that's just fabulous. I wish I could do wavy lines like that. But, see, they're sort of like a little family, isn't it? So I'll do another one. Let's do it here. Oh, I think Seth's got stuck under the table. There we go. So again, let's put this little cup in. Let's have a look at it. So this one I'm going to sort of go underneath that one. Underneath that. And then again, turn it this way, because this is probably why, you know, I can get it a little bit neater, is because I know that I draw better if I've got it at a certain angle. So I know that this angle sort of suits me. I mean, trying to draw horizontal is just ridiculous. Vertical's definitely for me. Oh, Linda, I'm probably not going to embroider over mine. I'm colouring them in as I go, but I know some are. I know Sue, you're drawing or you're doing a bit of embroidery on there, aren't you? I think for me, it's a time thing, down to the fact that I don't have much. So I'm just going to put some little pebbles, look, on here. But if I did have time to do it, then I think a bit of embroidery would be lovely. What I tend to do with them is I'll colour them in, and I might even go with a bit of fabric paint and paint a little bit, but I'll see how I feel about it. Okay, there we go. So a couple of little leaves. So same sort of thing. Let's bring it up, and just like on the last one, but I'm going to do them just a little bit bigger, like so. And then again, just as before, they're going to join that line there, like so, and then along that way. Okay, let's do another there. See, down one side first, but again, you can do it whichever way you like, whatever suits, it doesn't matter. Okay, another one. There we go, sort of keep it going. Again, you know, if you wanted to do this on paper, you could do that. You don't have to do it on fabric, it's just that we're going for it and trying something a bit different. I do think that this one is going to be way better than the original because we've done it, or I've done it in a longer amount of time. I've done it in steps, so we could work on it together, whereas the other one, you know, I had to get it done for the show. But I do think that this one is going to look way better. Okay, see, just some little dots around. Okay, let's have a little look at that then. So there's one look. We did our sort of round, just the little buds. And then there, look, we've actually done our little design. So there, another two done. So a little bit of a tick off there. So one more, let's go for one more. Okay, we can do this. I'm gonna go for this one here. Really nice one, lots of organic little curls and flourishes. And this sort of where the sort of petals come up rather than further down. So let's see where we go with it. Okay, I reckon we've got this. So back to the original, and let's have a look. I'm going to start with, let's have a look. I'm going to start with, I'm going to look maybe the middle. You can mark it if you like and put a loop in. Going for this one now. And then one this way. Like that. Turn it round. One this way. And again, one this way. Now that doesn't look much like that flower, I hear you say. It doesn't at the minute. But let's have a look, go a bit bigger. If I do this, one there, and one there, I'm going to do this, and each one, I'm not going to sort of complete one and then move on. I'm going to do little bits as I go. And again, along we go. And that one. And again, up and along. And along. So that gives us our first bit. So then next one, we see where this is going, and again next one. So I'm always going back to that center point, but each time I'm adding an extra one. You see how it's getting taller, so it's sort of working its way up, because a lot of flowers will work their way down. And that way, and that way. So at that point, let's looking at the instructions, we do have one and we have two on either side. You could continue if you wanted. Shall we do so? Let's do another one. I think we can get another one in there. Let's do it. Now it depends on, if you're going to draw this design, it depends how wide you draw these as to how many you can sort of get in. And then of course it depends on how big your piece is. Just go with the flow. Okay. Now I know this is not exactly in the centre, but that's okay as well, don't mind. Because we've got some curls and swirls to bring in, haven't we? Okay. So let's put that bubble or dome shape on there. Add into that one. And that sort of very quickly really gives us our main flower, doesn't it? Look at that. That was pretty quick. So next little bit, we've got these sort of curls, and I'm going to sort of look in the corners that I've got there, and let's bring them in. Now this one, it's not got a bobble on the end. It sort of comes around like so. And then it follows itself back on itself there. So it's more of a hook shape, really. See? And then let's go in with another. This time, look, it's going to go under that one. I'm not trying to make them the same shape, the same size. I want them all to be slightly different, because as I go round the piece, there we go, I want it to sort of not sort of take off the fact that my piece isn't in the middle, because I never planned it to be. So we're just reinforcing that. See? So here, look, I can start here. That's definitely gonna throw it off a little bit. You know, long. And again, I'm doing 2 on each side because I might decide to do more, but I want to see it first. And if I've done like 5 or 6 on one, I think, oh, it's a bit too much. Then I'm stuck and I've got to do that on all of them. So we build it up in small amounts as we go. Okay, a couple here and we'll have a look at it. One into there. And I'm going to sort of bring that round and into there. Okay, let's have a little look. Oh, if it'll let me. Okay, so at the minute it looks a little bit too uniform, doesn't it? Because we've got these 4 and then it's sort of coming out in 2 ways, even though they're completely different. So we are going to have to add some more in there. And again, don't forget that if you've not stitched yours together yet, you've got to make sure that that seam allowance is catered for. So just be aware of that, okay? Even if you've got to draw it in, just you don't want your design going into it. Okay. So let's do this one here. Bring that up. It's amazing how a few curls makes a difference, doesn't it? So this time, like, they're going to sort of underneath there, and they're a little bit more organic. So it's changing the shape, isn't it? So let's have a look here, maybe bring one up and out over this way. And this fabric's slightly trickier because it's got a bit of a print on the top of it. It looks lovely, but it can be a little bit of a pain when you're trying to draw. That's why sometimes I'll do it a couple of times. It's nothing, it's not the pen, it's the fabric that's doing it. Okay. I'll go a bit, there you go, look, see, look a bit closer. You see you've got that sort of swirl in it. So it's, yeah, it needs a little bit of a guidance now and again. Okay. All right, let's sort that one. Okay, so I think I'm going to sort of go around the piece, I think, and add a few extra little bits. I kind of like doing swirls and things anyway, so it's no hardship. But it depends on if you like doing those or not, see. Let's do a little one. Completely changes it. Linda, good question. usually I would do my drawing before I stitched my fabric together. Purely because if you do a drawing and you think, oh, I don't like it, or it's not quite right, or there's a problem, at least the only thing you've done is drawn an image you don't like. You can redo it with a piece of fabric. But once you've stitched it, if you don't like it, you've got to unstitch the whole thing. But I think once you've done a few and you're confident, and if you're thinking not so sure, use your Frixion pen. And I see no reason why you can't go onto sort of stitching your blocks first and then putting your drawing in. We're taking our time, you know, we're looking at things. I say we're using that Frixion pen if you're not sure, so there's no reason why. The only thing I'm thinking about is if I've got something like we did earlier where we'd got them, here we go, where we'd got these in a row. So this has got to be one way. Then if you're going to do different corners, you've got to make sure they match. And okay, so a Frixion pen, here we go, Frixion pen. This one, what it does, it acts like, I would say like a pencil really, because what I can do is I can come in and I can draw a load of images. Actually, being that my husband's home, John. Yeah, would you put the iron on, please?
I was expecting that.
John will put the iron on and we'll show you, okay? So, where's one that I did earlier? 1 second. So here, let me just take this. Oh, let's take this one, for example. See this one here? Look? I drew the construction line. You see that bubble around the flower with a Frixion pen. And once you've done whatever you want to do, this is going to stay because it's my black permanent. And the Frixion pen is going to iron away. So let's just let that heat up for a moment. And I'm going to come in with my last piece and go back to this design for a moment. All right, well, I think he's ready. So here we go, here's that piece, and you can see, look, there's the Frixion pen. I did have two. Oh, there's the other one. And I don't know if you can see it there as much, but hang on a second. There it is, look. There it is. Can you see it now? There's the Frixion pen. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to hand that over. I know, scary. He's fine. And he's going to iron it for me. But while he does that, let's have a look at this piece here. So, coming back in, let's have a little look at this. You see, this is the one we're working on. And it's sort of got these little clusters of curls and things. So I'm going to do something a little bit similar. And this time, I'm going to start with my curl. So here we go. I'm going to put one in here. Round we go. And along. Just taking my time. Okay, here we go. And here we are, back again. Thank you, John. So remember we got a bubble around a flower. Now look, he's ironed it away. And you can see that there's no bubble there now. My black pen remains, but the Frixion pen, which was the blue, has been ironed away. And that where I'd got all my arrows, oh no, they're still there. No, they're not. There you go. All the arrows have disappeared and it's like it was never there. Just like a pencil when you rub it out. Okay, so back to this one. Let's put that curl in there. And again, look, it's sort of like a little hook shape coming back on itself. Okay, underneath there, look, back down. And from there, I'm going to come in the middle and put that loop. Okay, let's go in a little bit more. Got Linda, you use a Frixion pen to draw anything construction, or if there's something you're not sure about and you want to try it first, then use that. Imagine it like a pencil and the iron is like a rubber. You know, when you're drawing construction lines, you'd use a pencil and then you'd rub it out afterwards. Well, it's exactly the same as that. Now, you can get lots of different brands. What I would suggest, honestly, don't go for the cheapest because they're not always the best. Sometimes they don't iron out. So if you're not sure, test a piece of fabric first. But this one, these come in different colours. I think there's red, green, red, blue and black. They are a Crafter's Companion product, and you can get them from Sewing Street or lots of other places as well. So honestly, that's what I'd use. I know it works, but as I say, always test your fabric if you're not sure. Okay, I'll put another curve in, look. So this way, another bubble, and along. So you see exactly the same flower. This time though, look, I'm only going to put 3 in because I'm getting quite close to that seam. And in we go. See? And then let's do a similar thing here as well. We've got this one. Let's put this one in. So another curl. There we go. And a loop. And then back in, 1 there. See, I'm going to do 2 on that side and 2 on this side. And then just, there we go. Let's have a little look at that. Okay. So I think it's a little bit sort of balanced symmetrical. So I'm going to put another one in here. Okay. See, I'm just following that line back down. And then let's put 1 in there. They don't have to be the same size, of course. Let's have a small one in there. There you go. And 1 there. Okay. So far, so good. So do I want another? Probably not, but I think it needs something else. So I'm going to come in with our sort of firm favourite little loops. Let's go in a bit more, you see. And I'm going to go over there, look. And put some of these little loops in. And again, if you're not sure and you think, do I need this or not, you can use that other pen and you can try it first. See how you feel. Okay, see, I've got a little gap there, so I'm gonna fill that with bubbles. There we go. A closer look. So, oh, doesn't want to move. There you go. So I'm going to put my lid on now. I think I'm going to tick off that one because we've done it. So next time we've got 3 to do. There's 4 designs, but only 3 that we need. So I'm going to see how I feel about which ones. Definitely this one and this one. And it's against this one and this one, so I'm not sure. But a quick sort of review of what we've done today is there's the same flower, but slightly different. You see, because I'm using different fabrics, but you'd only be doing 1. It's, there we go. And then this is the other one that we've done. Okay. Linda, yes, the fabric can be washed once I've used this pen on it. It's fine. I've tried it and it works brilliantly. As long as you don't go over 40 degrees, you're fine. So that's another one. That's another one. So we've done quite a few tonight, really. So if I do a quick flick through all the others that we've done, it's quite, well, this makes a few now, doesn't it? So here we go. Goodness me. So there's that one. But this one, remember, that could be either way, couldn't it? Top or bottom. This one. See there, I've got the Frixion pen in. You can just see it. I've not ironed it away yet. You see there? This one. Oops, upside down. Yeah, we did our sort of little topiary. And we've got this one that we did. They look fabulous, don't they, when you think about it? And of course, for every one of these, I've got 2, so I've got different variations. That one, you can see that I have actually coloured it in. I've got the red. And for the colours, if you're not sure, the Derwent Inktense pencils work brilliantly. I wouldn't use my own pencils on there if I want to wash it because they won't be permanent. That one. And then this one, we did sort of the roses. That one is a bouquet. See, that one's coloured. These are going to look fabulous, aren't they? I can't wait to see all your quilts when they're done. So that actually puts us to 17 now that we've done. I reckon so. So, okay. There they go. So we'll do our last 3 next week, and that'll take us up to 20 blocks. Hopefully by that time, if you're working alongside me, you'll have all your blocks ready to go. And what I'll do, I'll give you a few pointers, because what we're going to have to do is, yeah, we've got to stitch this one, and we'll be stitching, I'll be stitching one of the white ones, but you'll be stitching this one and this one together, and you can immediately see the problem. Not that it's a problem, but it needs a little bit of thinking about, because this and this need to match. And they also need to match at the bottom as well. We don't really want something that's going to be off kilter like that. We want them to actually match. So that'll be the little pointer, and then I should probably leave you alone to get on with that and get that sorted from there. So, okay. So back here, back to normal Sunday at 7 o'clock next time. I hope you can join me. And yeah, please keep posting and let me see what you've been doing. It's lovely to sort of see. And of course, any questions you want to ask, please ask away. That's why we're here, and that's why we're doing this. So have a little bit of fun with it. Enjoy. Oh, I did say, didn't I, Sue, I was going to do a quick show of those other fabrics. 1 second. And here we go. So what I'm going to be doing is the main drawings of the Christmassy quilt I'm going to do on a white cotton. But then I've chosen, here we go, look these. Okay, so I've got one that's got some little stags on, and it's got snowflakes. And it's got this beautiful sort of, it's like a sort of scene. I think this is Moda, isn't it? 1 second, I'll have a quick check for you. I think, I can't, what's it called? It's called, I don't know. No, I don't recall. But yeah, it's definitely. I think it's definitely made. I think it's Blizzard. And this is one of their last year's sort of covers, but I thought it was really nice. It's something a bit different. So the original one for the Christmas, I'm doing the Scandi. I've gone with reds and greys, but I thought, yeah, I'll do a demo with something a bit different as well. So. Okay, leave it there then. Have a lovely evening, what's left of it. I'm getting back to doing some prep ready for Hobby Maker tomorrow. I'm on there for a few shows, so if you're in and you're watching, lovely to sort of see you. Send some bits in, even if it's quilts, send it in and we'll have a look. It'd be lovely. So until next week then, unless again you're following with my other live tiles, I'll see you at some point in the week. Okay, take care everybody. Bye.